baking, and he was like, Alexa, set timer for 5 minutes. And I went spoke. I didn't tell him that was the woman. But anyways, the couple one day came to me and told me, John, you don't need to go to play soccer because the pandemic is going on, you're gonna kill us. I was frustrated to be in the house for a long time, and it inspired me to write this song called A Big Smile. I was just thinking how it can feel when the whole pandemic is gone. So I hope you guys enjoy. When you are running from all that calls you, the road you're traveling seems uphill. Some days will be empty without a smile. Life is not a race, but a journey to be survived. Let your wound just make you strong. It may be mean when it seems so far. Stick to the fight when your heart is hit. Don't be afraid to encounter all the rays. When the sun rises up, when the sun rises up, when the sun rises up, you will start with a big smile. When the sun rises up, when the sun rises up, when the sun rises up, you will start with a big smile. Sometimes when people just don't care, harmful sound is hard to say. Accept yourself as you are designed. You're a masterpiece of your own kind. When the sun rises up, when the sun rises up, when the sun rises up, you will start with a big smile. When the sun rises up, when the sun rises up, when the sun rises up, you will start with a big smile. When the sun rises up, when the sun rises up, when the sun rises up, you will start with a big smile. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. In January, I finally went back home. You know, it took me 6 years. When I came here, I thought I was spending 2 weeks and go back. But I realized there were rules in the world. There were document rules. I didn't know that. I'd never seen that. I'd never heard of that. So when I came, I was like, well, the lawyer told me, well, you're on what they call a business visitor visa, and it has rules. When you go, you won't come back. And you know, I was spoiled with all this stuff, Chipotle stuff. I was like, there is no way I can ever go back to Uganda if I have Chipotle. I love Chipotle, I was addicted to that stuff. And I told my brain, I don't think I want to do that. Because things here kind of made sense. In Uganda, I would chase the chicken to eat it. And for some reason here, you just drive through a window and eat as much as you want. I like that stuff. But it costed me 6 years. And it was amazing to go. And I realized that there are the people there, since they don't dream, they don't hope, they don't see things like stress. Those words don't exist there. People don't even know what it means. They still knew the 23-year-old that left. They didn't see me as a person. They really didn't understand that I had changed a lot. And I went with my manager. He looked different when he was there. They were excited. That was the only evidence that I've come from America. But to me, it filled my heart so much. When I came back so refreshed and really, really happy. Because I'd never seen those people, even my twin sister. We would talk and I would see that we had a very big shift. She was doing the same exact thing I left her doing. And me, I had passed through stages of learning. And being in Austin, Texas, I struggled with the self-reflection thing. Because it's a new world and people do things differently. I remember I had a friend of mine, he taught me things, disc golf. Has anyone ever played that stuff? That was fun. That was my first American game. Throwing a plate and it falls into some chain stuff. I like that. And one day the game went so well and I held this guy's shoulder. I was like, hey man, that was so good. And I was smiling. I don't think his face looked happy. And I didn't know why. He was not happy. I went home asking myself, what really happened? And then we scheduled another day. The game was so fun. And this time I held his hand and I started swinging it. He was pissed about that. I don't think he liked that. He drove away and left me at that park. And it took me time to just understand that friendship was, in Uganda guys would just joke around. Here I think guys was kind of serious. He was serious. And that's not the way of expressing friendship. So I learned that. And things went worse when I went to a DMV. And the lady told me to read in a machine. I couldn't read anything, which she told me, you're blind, sir. I'm like, blind? I came with my eyes from Uganda. She's like, well, you couldn't read anything in this computer, so we won't give you a driver's license. And then she asked me, why didn't you fill in this part that says race? Are you white? I'm like, no. She's like, are you black? I'm like, no. She's like, are you Asian? Are you Hispanic? I'm saying no. She's like, what the hell are you? I'll help you fill it in. You're black. So to me, in my whole life, I'd never heard of people described with a specific color at all. That's why I didn't feel in that part. I'd never ever heard of that. And I called my sister after leaving the DMV. I'm like, if you ever make it here, fill in black. Because you're gonna make someone so pissed. But anyways, I went back home with, so I'm finding all these things. I didn't see it as a bad way. I was like, cool, I'm black, I like that. It was just hard to be like, okay, knowing something new about yourself. And then A friend of mine, he came to me always crying. He's like, John, I'm stressed. I'm like, why? He said he has no job. He got the job, we celebrated. After a few weeks, he told me he was stressed. I was like, why? He's like, about the job. I was like, what is stress? And he explains to me a definition, but still it didn't make sense. And then somehow the way I lived was kind of reflecting to the definition he gave me. And I'm starting to reflect through all these terms. I'm like, oh, if you're stressed, you have to be in that bracket of stress. And I had to go in the mirror and talk to myself, to self-reflect. And this song, Bend, is the conversation I had with myself.